love when people think global with their brand, with their business. What are the first steps that you put into place when you go, right, I want to enter a new market, but I don't want to grow at the rate that's so fast, like you say, that it's too fast and then you end up bankrupt?
You find partners.
Okay.
So I am a hopeless extrovert. So I'm always at some sort of party event or seminar or summit. And I meet a lot of people in different parts of the world and quite inspiring people. So I learned, look at them and I get the energy that if they can, I can. It just gives you so much confidence. I'm addicted officially. I cannot have like 2-3 months without some sort of summit or a big gatherings. Like I get intense amount of stimulation, mental stimulation, motivation. Oh, I love that.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Kelly Lundberg Podcast, another episode, and in today's episode I speak to Natasha. Natasha and I were overdue, not only a catch up, but her being on the podcast. What a wealth of knowledge she has within the wellness industry. If there's anyone that started being in wellness before wellness was a thing, it was Natasha. And she's gone on very honestly to build businesses, lose businesses, but what she's passionate about now, Health Nag. So we dive into why she is, the things that she's learned along the way as she's built her business, and what are some of the things that she's loving right now. You can feel the passion come through this podcast episode. Let's dive into it. Welcome to the show, Natasha. It's great to have you. And this is a long overdue podcast.
Oh, 100%. Hi, Kelly. Really excited to see you after such a long time.
We've known each other for 12 years. I remember this morning, I was thinking, I remember the first time or a long conversation we had about juicers. And I think
a standard conversation with me.
the thing is, you know your stuff when it comes to, I think long before what you're in now, you know about food, well-being before well-being is what it is now. So it's great to have you.
Yeah, way before COVID, as I now say, you know.
Yeah. So,
I was into wellness before COVID.
So why don't you give everyone a bit of a backstory and tell people, you know, who you are and what you're doing now?
I was called Stevenson before, so just for those, that's how probably you remember me.
Yeah.
I'm into wellness for the last 20 years.
Okay.
So in my 20s, I was diagnosed with like incurable health conditions, and I was put on a hormonal therapy and stuff like that. And doctors were telling me that this is something for life and you can't do anything about it. And that's when I realized, like, I cannot accept it, because the rebel in me is just, no, I'm not settling for anything. I am going to heal. I don't need any medicine, and I refuse to take any hormonal therapy. And that's when my actually health journey began. So I just decided that I'm going to understand and get to the root cause of my issue, heal my body. I stopped smoking. I was a smoker. I stopped drinking. I stopped eating nonsense, as I call it. I really started to take care of myself. I went to the gym first time, and like I think at the age of 24, 25. So that's when I started to change entire lifestyle, and my body started to respond. And I'm like, oh my God, actually, when you give your body the right food, the right lifestyle, the right environment, it starts to heal itself. You don't even need to tell yourself what to do, because it will just do itself. So this is what happened. So I acquired a lot of knowledge in the last 20 years, you name it, like biochemistry, Ayurveda, Chinese medicine, anatomy, peptides, stem cells. I've been researching. I've been to multiple seminars. I'm obsessed. I'm hopelessly obsessed with wellness. I'm hopelessly obsessed with functional medicine. I want to heal the world. Like, my passion is really all about longevity. I don't think we live the right way. I think we're brainwashed, the way we eat the breakfast, the way we live. We're like super stressed. We are doing it wrong. We're doing it all wrong. And COVID actually showed us that we are doing a lot of things wrong. And I think a lot of people woke up after COVID. That's why I say I was into wellness right before COVID, because only now I see that people are really into it, and for all the right reasons. Yeah. Thank God. So that's me. That's a little bit about me.
I love it. But what brought you to Dubai originally?
I was married at the time, and I followed my husband like a good wife.
Yeah.
And then I just had to find myself some hobbies here. And my first hobby was hot yoga. So I went to a first class, and somewhere, God knows, in Dera, it's like a really tiny studio where all the yoga classes were heated and the humidity was 40 degrees and the temperature was 40 degrees. And I just loved it from the first sweat, as I call it. And since then, I started to have this intense passion for this particular practice. And after a short while, I decided to actually become a yoga teacher in this particular yoga. And I flew to US and I finished the training, and I opened the first yoga studio, which was the second hot yoga studio in Dubai. And that's when my, I would say, entrepreneurial journey began, moving from a housewife to kind of serial wellness entrepreneur.
And I think that's just grown and grown and grown over the years, because I've seen you pop up and gone, oh, wow, that's your business, that's your brand. And then it's evolved into something else. So where are you now in that journey of entrepreneurship?
So definitely it's very natural for me. So you can, anything that I get excited about naturally myself personally, I feel like I want to have a business within this category. And that's just what's happening. Like, I've been into yoga, I opened a yoga studio. I decided that I want dairy-free desserts, I opened the food manufacturing. You know, I stopped drinking dairy. I was like, I'm going to start producing almond milk before it was cool, you know. I've been through it all. And then obviously supplements and the wellness. I could not trust many supplements out there. So I thought, I'm going to do it because I can trust myself. My family can really be sure what they're taking when it's been scrutinized by me. So that's the Health Nag. That's my latest entrepreneurial journey, number 4. And I have a feeling it's not the last.
Ooh. So Health Nag then, because it's not just supplements. I feel that you are creating a community, you're educating people. There's so much more than, hey, come and buy our stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. This is more of an extension. This is actually a natural transition from a blog. It started as a health blog while I was running my yoga studio Drip, which I currently now, I'm out of it. I've sold it. So I can focus on this baby. But I started to nag literally because my inner circle was tired of it. I'm like, maybe a mass market will appreciate my nagging more. So I started to put a lot of functional medicine information out there, purely on Instagram, without my face. I was hiding myself, actually. I did not want this to be about me. I just wanted about the message. And the message that I was putting out there was so relatable to many people. Like, literally, so many people found it useful, and they started to write and started to heal, which is most important. I started to get messages like, Natasha, I feel so much better, or I got pregnant faster, or my gut healing happened finally after all these years. That was like the biggest fuel for me. And I'm like, okay, I'm doing something right. And then the community started to ask for the products as well. Is this vitamin C good? Is this vitamin D good? And I thought it's just a natural transition for us to start actually producing something that is of spectacular quality, because I cannot do it otherwise, right? So we started to innovate and create premium nutraceuticals, which I personally take, which I personally trust, because again, traceability, the quality, the formulas as well, very, very important.
Yeah.
That's how Health Nag was born. But I always, everywhere I go, I say, we are a wellness movement and a wellness encouraging community before we are a business.
Yeah.
This is how it always will be, you know?
I want to touch on that part there because it's quite interesting in the personal branding space, where I've got some clients who go, I want to be the face of it, and other clients go, I don't want it to be about me. And I think you've been on one side of the journey where you didn't want it to be about you, and then laterally realized that no, people want to know about your journey and your story and the connection.
I never wanted it to be about me. For about, I think, a year and a half, I was posting. No one knew what this Health Nag is, who it is a woman, is it a man? It was just a message. But then I had the first ever live seminar, and this is when I came out, and people were like, oh, Natasha, you again. and then it just was like that. But then Health Nag is not a Natasha. Health Nag is that part of the personality within me that is a Health Nag. It's kind of like alter ego or a split personality, and it's always there. But Natasha has multiple personalities, right? So Health Nag is that passionate, completely no BS, no sugarcoating kind of personality who is really obsessed with making the world healthier place. Because I see a direct link between physical health and emotional health. And I see a lot of misery. I see a lot of sad, depressed, anxious people out there. That really is very, very touching to me, because I have a personal story within my family where I've seen depression, I've seen the anxiety. And for me, it's so personal. My heart absolutely breaks when I see people suffering, especially on the mental level. But what I've realized is that when you start taking care of the physical body, your emotions improve dramatically. So my message is there that when you're feeling down, the first thing you really need to start doing is definitely taking care of your physical body, because when you're physically healthier, somehow your emotions are healthier, and then slowly you can build up your life, your motivation, your self-esteem goes up. So for me, my mission is that. Really, everything else is irrelevant, because as I said, it's coming from my personal story, from my own family, where my brother had suffered from this and I could not help him before. So my mission is now really help people to feel better, because healthier you means healthier community, and healthy community for our kids.
So I think that piece on the split personality, as in that is part of your personality.
1,000,000%.
Yeah, because people get confused and they go, but my brand is my business. And it said it doesn't need to be all your business, but it can be a part of who you are, which the name, the values of why you're doing this. You have a personal story that really resonates and connects with people, because that's why you're doing that as well. So the community piece is huge. What other strategy have you found that have worked really well for growing the name and the brand?
With me, throughout all my businesses, I would say always the community and the passion that I have would always somehow naturally create a business. Because I don't start business, I want to make a business, I want to make money. It never happens. It happens, I'm excited. Oh my God, this tastes amazing. Oh, I'd love to do that. And then it's just complete and utter passion. Obviously, I've learned some lessons, because I had the business purely out of passion, with zero strategy and zero numbers game. And I've lost it all. So that lesson learned. So now I try to combine passion with, obviously, have a business side of it. But it's always, because going gets tough.
Yeah.
And if you don't have passion, it's going to be done. You're going to be done very quick. So for me, it's always, I am genuinely and utterly excited by what I do. And somehow people feel it.
Yeah.
People feel my passion. People feel trust towards what I do. It is natural. I'm not trying to make people trust me. It's just I live the same way I preach.
Yeah.
I take everything that I create. If it was a yoga, I would be the first one all the time, every day in the front row doing the yoga. If it's a collagen, I'm taking it every day. If it's a detox, it's actually what I've been doing for years. So it kind of like, it's an extension. So for me, I don't know how to set up a business and say, I'm going to make money. It doesn't work like this. Money is just for me personally, because there are other people who do it different way and they are very successful at this. From my personal experience, no passion, no honey.
What's the lessons then? Because I think that's interesting, because passion, as you said, you were all passionate and all into one of them, and the numbers didn't add up. What are a couple of lessons then that you've learned along the way that entrepreneurs are listening to, going, right, I'm really passionate, but they're ignoring the numbers?
Absolutely. But that's something that you have to have this personality as well. There are a lot of lessons. As I said, I've lost one business, and that was super painful, and I lost a lot of money. But the lessons that I've learned, that all the businesses after that just became like a walk in the park, to be honest. Like that was actually a business school. I went to the business school and I paid a lot of money. I didn't learn anything. The most amazing business school was my business number 2, where I actually created something phenomenal, incredible. The growth was very fast, but the cash flow killed us. And I learned a lot of hard lessons during that time.
Give us one hard lesson.
Don't start business out of debt. One.
Okay.
So do, as you mentioned to me earlier, you have a main hustle and then you have a side hustle, and that when side hustle becomes more of a reassuring hustle, then you switch the hustle.
Okay. I like that.
I would do that. Definitely always learn, always adapt, because the market changes really, really quickly. So I spend a lot of time reading business books. I genuinely find a lot of incredible advices. However, at the same time, because it's moving so fast, a lot of old books are already kind of not relevant anymore. So you need to find this balance, listen to the latest news, listen to the latest trends, and talk to as many people as possible. I find a lot of useful information when I'm surrounded by young young entrepreneurs, and you learn a lot from them. You ask them the questions. They're always eager to share their story. That's where you get lessons, not through your own mistakes, but listening to them. This is incredible. Don't try to grow too fast. That's one of the reasons as well. When people expand, oh, we're going to go this market and this market and this market. No. And it's a natural desire, really. Once something is working, you want to expand. And I've seen a lot of people like collapsing actually when they have something incredible, then they go for 10 more locations and they burn the money and they go bankrupt. So don't try to grow fast, you know. Stay patient, stay slow, stay consistent. These are probably the majority of lessons, I would say, like the most important ones.
So what's the journey you're taking Health Nag on now then? Where do you see that going in the next sort of 6
With
to
me,
12
you
months?
never know. That's the thing. So it's, as I said, there is no strategy. It's a completely impulsive, emotional journey. We are working on new products. We are continuously creating more product because I am an innovator. Like I cannot do something that everyone else does. There's absolutely no way. I have to do something outside the box. Either I need to create something that market hasn't seen. Like we've created this collagen, for example. There is no collagen in a jelly form, in an edible jelly form. So it's the first collagen in the world, pretty much. Everywhere you see the powder. But why? Because obviously it's not easy to create, it's not easy for logistics, but it's extremely effective because you are not over processing it, like a powdered collagen, for example. And we've launched it to the market, we've sold out twice. And I like that. I like that UAE now putting kind of like themselves into the global map for innovations, because we used to like something incredible always comes from somewhere else, but why not from the Dubai? Like I'm proud of it. And of course that's why I was saying that we're going to continue innovating in different categories. I want to create something that the world hasn't seen. That's my passion. So what's next? We are working on 4 new products. I can't tell you right now, but I don't think we will finish at those 4 products. I think there is more.
I've got 2 questions off that. So when I'm like, oh, which one do I want to go with first? Okay, creating products that the world hasn't seen. I think there's people listening to this podcast or watching it going, I want to do that. I want to do that. How would you suggest someone creates an innovative product that the world hasn't seen? Because it's a competitive environment now. Like it's hard to be new and stand out. What are some of the things you would suggest to someone listening to this?
But I would say it's not about like creating something that the world hasn't seen. It's not about just being different. It's about being better. So think how can you take anything that's working and make it better. So for example, better not just by the look of it but by functionality. Let's say again, the powdered collagen is less effective than minimally processed jelly because when they extract the collagen, it's initially actually in a jelly form. And this is a natural collagen. What they do afterwards, they dehydrate it. During this dehydration process, they often expose the collagen molecules to high heat. That damages sensitive collagen molecule, making it much less effective. So when you actually under-process it, the efficacy is much higher. So it's not about just creating a gel that you can enjoy it. It's more about functionality and efficiency. So take any product. If you feel you can improve it, 100% do it. Find the team, find the R&D team or scientific team or creative team, or even maybe it's you. Maybe you have all the answers, and create something that's better. It's not about being different. It's about continuing evolution.
I think that you could also say about a person as well as how we show up. It's just that how can we show up every day being that little bit better?
This is like a very, very close to my heart. I constantly need to evolve. I sometimes feel like maybe I'm too harsh on myself. Always, Natasha, you can do more, you can do better, you can read more books, you can achieve more, you can try this. It's like, oh my God. But at the same time, I cannot stop. This is just me. So I really highly, strongly believe that we should change. And we say, oh, you've changed to someone, but it's normal. Imagine we wouldn't have changed. Like we should be evolving continuously and learning and not believing that we have all the answers and not believing that we're always right. Always have that benefit of doubt in everything that we do and in the way we are. There's always a better way of doing things or living life, you know?
Yeah. You mentioned you go to a lot of conferences and seminars.
Love it. I'm addicted.
Books.
Whenever I feel down, and it happens quite often, I think we're all humans. A lot of people, or girls, for example, they talk it out with their friends, right? Some call their mom, some call astrologers, like me as well, sometimes happens. But in general, my number one source of emotional support are books. And whenever I feel down, I find a book that whether it's relationship, health, business, I will always find my answers. It takes me 4 or 5 days normally, or depending on the book, to read it. And I come out a completely different person. I have so much strength and motivation by extracting the information from the books. This is me personally.
And implementing it, because I think a lot of people read books and then they don't implement things.
But it does alter your brain even. Like, there are a lot of books that would give you practical suggestions, and I am not the most enthusiastic about this usually. But I do feel my mind is altered. Like recently, for example, I read the book when I experienced, let's say, we all have some sort of trauma. Let's go deep, right? I love that. Like, we all have some certain drama, whether in relating or with the family issues, some doubts, some fears, some insecurities. We all have them. And then some person triggered me recently, for example, and straight away I found the book. And I read the book about traumas and our responses, how we respond by reacting to the story that happened to us when we were kids, which is not relevant right now, but reminding yourself. And the way the book describes everything, it makes so much sense that it puts your mind right into the right place immediately, where your mood is boosted and then you are no longer suffering from that particular trigger. How amazing is that? So for me, books are incredible, but not everyone can read. A lot of people listen, but it doesn't matter. If you're more of an audio person,
which is me,
fine,
for sure.
which is me not. I am definitely high visual. I need to read. And then that means that you cannot move for a while, but that's my sort of meditation. I am really thankful that this book exists. And if you are one of those people who are into reading, I find a lot of answers there. So that's incredible.
Give us a few books. So that one was called, what was it? Trauma and Your Response.
There is a book called Love Me, Don't Leave Me. It's for, because you see a lot on Instagram right now, let's say, anxious vs avoidant relating, right? And I feel in my life I've been both. It all depends on the stage of life, and I think we all can relate to it. Let's be honest, there's a lot of insecurities come out when we enter a relationship. The more different person to you is, the more triggers you will have. And it's completely appropriate and normal for everyone. But how we handle it is actually quite scary, because we usually either run, we fight, we self-sabotage is a big one. I've done quite a few of that damage in my life. So that book called Love Me, Don't Leave Me, and it's talking about different triggers, and it gives you very practical real life examples when you are triggered in a personal romantic relationship, and it teaches you different patterns. And there's actually exercise after each chapter, which you can actually write down and put together. Beautiful. Why they don't teach this in schools?
Oh, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on
I
that.
wish somebody would tell me that earlier, then I maybe already been in a different position. You know what I mean?
Best business book?
There are lots. Oof. That's a tough one. You extract from every...
Yeah, I find.
The subtle art of not giving... I found it incredibly beneficial too. That cleared out my mind from so many unnecessary things. So I thought that was brilliant.
I actually haven't read that book. So I think I should. I've never read it. So I'll add it to the list.
I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, okay.
To be honest, it was that good and so effective for like next 2-3 years. Your mind is in the right place, then you kind of like fade away a little bit, and that's the time to read it again, because this is the book that you can read multiple times, because it straight away puts you into the right mindset, and that, I would say, puts you into the mindset of happiness, joy, and freedom. And we as humans often get too many layers of like anxiety, fears, and insecurities. This is brilliant. There's also a book called, I think, Babylon something about money. That was like a really, really good book about
We'll link all
money.
of these in the show notes, because I think it's always
There's
really
so many.
useful.
I'm like, every month I read some sort of books. I'm going to read yours next.
Are you going to write your own?
No.
At some point?
Maybe, actually. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, why not? Maybe it inspires
everyone's
me.
got a book inside them. And I always say, from a personal brand perspective, when you build your brand around something that you're known for, or your expertise, and then you have a book, then adds credibility into what you're doing, that it just grows your visibility in that space.
I think for Health Nag, it's like I nag about health. This is kind of like my book in different chapters. But if I am to write the book once I fix my relationship issues, let's be honest, maybe that's when I read the book. I write the book about relationship just because I felt like the biggest transformation that I've achieved was exactly in that particular area, and not in the business, because business comes easy to me. Let's put it this way. Relationship don't come easy to me. I feel like that's where a lot of lessons are for me, and I am still evolving in that department.
I love it. I wanted to touch on something that you'd said earlier, and it was about the UAE. So we've both been here quite a long time.
Yes.
How do you find the UAE as a market? Or are you, I mean, you're global, I'm assuming, with all your products, but...
I am planning to be.
Oh, okay. So everything
No,
you have is
no,
for here.
it's not. We've just launched UK. We're super
Okay.
excited about this. This is like my second home. I'm utterly obsessed with England. We are entering Saudi now with Waitrose. Waitrose being so supportive. They love our product. They're taking us to Saudi. We've launched in Kuwait. We've launched in Bahrain, in Lebanon, and we are eyeing on USA in 2025.
That's a big one.
Big one, but we can take.
I love when people think global with their brand, with their business. What are the first steps that you put into place when you go, right, I want to enter a new market, but I don't want to grow at the rate that's so fast, like you say, that it's too fast and then you end up bankrupt?
You find partners.
Okay.
So I am a hopeless extrovert. So I'm always at some sort of party event or seminar or summit. And I meet a lot of people in different parts of the world and quite inspiring people. So I learned, and not just learn, look at them and I get the energy that if they can, I can. And it just gives you so much confidence. And that's why I'm addicted officially. I cannot have like 2-3 months without some sort of summit or a big gatherings. Like I get intense amount of stimulation, mental stimulation, motivation. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
So I find partners like that. Like you talk about your business, somebody, oh, I have somebody, I know this, I know that, I know this person, and I'll connect to this. This is how it happens. When you set your mind on something, or you made the decision to have a goal or a target, I promise you, if you are in the right frequency, the universe starts putting in front of you the right opportunities, the right people, and the right retailers, and so on, and partners. So we're going into US with a partner that we met on one of those summits, who tried our product at one of the events, loved it, and now have an idea how to enter US market.
I love it. So, but that I think comes down to the personal brand piece on network and collaborations. Like it's impossible to do it alone, but people are buying into, yes, your product, but they're buying into your energy. They're buying into your vision, your passion of creating this and wanting more people to experience it.
100%. It's not for everyone though. Not everyone is extroverted as me. And I know a lot of phenomenal, sensational business people, and they by far not so into any gatherings, right? But I am different. I'm a people's person. I'm a community-oriented person. I am definitely a networker, and I gain a lot of knowledge and motivation, as I mentioned already, through that. So for me, yes, this is my strategy.
Yeah.
But it's not that it's a strategy, it's just how I am. So it happens. But for everyone else, everyone is different. Some people actually have a different strategy. They research, they find maybe a good distributor in that particular area or region, and they approach them. For us, it happens more through kind of like networking and friendship.
And
Organically. We are organic all the way.
But I think then that also, you mentioned the word natural earlier, and it wasn't related to your product, but it was something about you. And I think when we think brand values, how we are as people, that comes into the things that you're doing, like what you're creating, natural products. The way that you engage with collaborations is natural because you want it to be something that people want to do, not have to do, and
Absolutely.
something that people enjoy and will get something from it, like mutually beneficial to both.
100%. And even we grew organically.
Yeah.
I did not have a plan initially. It was nowhere near. I was running a yoga studio. My plan was to franchise the Drip yoga studio that I've built for the last 5 years. And this was just nagging because I needed to let it out of my system. I needed to tell somebody how you can heal. And then they started to ask how to detoxify, and I created the detox. And there was only one product initially. For two and a half years, there was only one product, the detox, that 3-day fasting kit.
Yeah.
And then instead of obviously taking the money, I reinvested every single money. Oh, maybe we can create a new product like matcha. I was obsessed with matcha, and there was no good matcha in Dubai. What did I do? Of course, I launched my own. I found the best farm, like an organic, family-run, Japanese authentic farm, and I said, let's do it. And we started to bring to Dubai like really fresh matcha, and kind of like it grew. And then, okay, what's next? Maybe let's do glutathione. Let's do liposomal vitamin C. We've got like a trademarked, patented technology for the liposomal delivery, which is like 90% better absorption of those active ingredients it's in the products. And we brought it to the UAE. So it's kind of like, it's completely organic. We don't have investors. It is self-funded till date. And we are growing organically.
I love it. So the UAE piece, which kind of brings me back to that.
Yeah.
Small market, big market. How do you find
small market?
Yeah, because
small market, but less saturated market.
Okay,
if that makes sense. Like, let's say if we had to launch something in US, there's much more competition, but the market size is completely different. Even if you get 0.1% of the market, you are in a great place. Here you can acquire bigger piece, but because it's smaller, so it evens it out. But I don't know how to run business in other market than here. All my businesses have been in the UAE. I find UAE is very supportive.
Yeah.
Not only supportive, I find UAE incredibly inspiring. It's almost like you look at all this, how everything is done here.
Oh, totally.
You look at how perfectionistic everything is, how over the top, how spectacular everything is. You naturally want to kind of like, live up to the same standards.
Be that,
so it's almost impossible to be lazy in Dubai. Forget it. I can be lazy anywhere else. But as soon as I land in Dubai, let's go, guys. We are going global.
I love that. It's impossible to be lazy in Dubai. I cannot. Is a quote. But I feel it as well. It's energetic.
It's energetic. You want to achieve. You want to, whatever that means to you, because everyone is else different.
Yeah.
You have to break the stereotypes. You have to be better. You have to build. You have to create. It is the energy I feel.
Yeah, it's so
Maybe
true.
That's why I travel all the time, because I cannot relax in Dubai. Weekend, let's go. Morning, evening, let's go. We are working.
I love it. As we come up to wrap each podcast, I have a few random quick questions I like to ask. Interestingly, a couple I've already asked you, which was your books, and you shared some of those. We'll put them in the show notes for those that are asking. I could maybe answer this, but I think maybe let's be more specific. A time I felt on top of the world was... And I know you've got your energy in Dubai, but...
There were a few times, and then I was like, kind of like off that pedestal.
Is there one?
Honestly, as an entrepreneur, I don't know, I cannot speak for others, but in my life, it's like every other week I'm on top of the world, and every other week I'm on the most...
Oh, that sounds familiar.
And that's consistent. We were very proud when we launched Collagen and we sold that. That was like, wow, like amazing. And Una sent us exceptional performance within the first week of launching. We've sold out, like, wow, on Unas. Like, like things like that. Or waitress now calling us, when is the stock is back? When is the stock? Like, and then next day some problem comes and you feel like you're the lowest low.
Yeah.
Life.
It is. It's funny because I reflected on, I've been 19 years in business, and that was one of my captions was, when you're an entrepreneur, the highs are high.
Yes.
And they're so high.
Yes.
Because you're just like, this is the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
But by God, the
but
lows.
life makes it real very quickly, So that's why I always say, stay humble. Very important. Stay humble.
Yeah.
Stay alert. Right? Yeah. Don't relax into your success too much. I just recently went to the talk of Grant Cardone.
Oh, yeah. I've seen him in Miami,
quite inspiring,
actually.
Both him and his wife. And he was actually saying, every single day I wake up imagining that I'm on zero, even though he's a billionaire.
Yeah.
This is the mindset. This is what I'm saying is, like, if you wake up and you hustle as you have zero every single day, that's how, it's a lot of pressure on yourself. Not everyone is into it.
Yeah.
But if you really are keen on growing and maintaining your position, because one day you're a champ, another day you're no one.
Yeah.
So starting every day and treating it like you are at zero just gives you a different type of motivation, and you're staying alert and you're staying active, and you keep thinking of different opportunities. And I think that's the key. But again, not everyone needs it. Not every woman needs that, because I think I'm quite an unusual woman when it comes to this, because I can never satisfy my ambition. And ambition is not even financial success. It's just creativity, and I want to create products and services. Like, I have that urge and need, and I don't think I can never stop.
I love that. Grant Cardone, I saw him, and there's a piece of advice that he interestingly said that's always stuck with me, is business is a numbers game. Whoever has the most contacts wins. And I always thought that was really interesting, back to your networking, your collaborations. But he also said he gets really excited every single day when someone says that they unsubscribed from his mailing list because he said they were never going to buy anything from me anyway. And he said people get really upset about that. He said, I love it. I love it. And I just thought it was a really different way to look at things.
Yeah. I also love that. I think, he's an interesting character. He's got a lot of confidence. He's very, very aggressive when it comes to this. I don't think I can ever be like that. For me, it's not about, for me, by far, this is not a numbers game. This is more of emotional satisfaction that is a numbers game. Yeah. For me personally, I could never be in a very finance-orientated business. I hate balance sheets. I hate all the strategies, feasibility studies. It's not me. I'm product development.
Yeah.
I'm a passionate woman. I'm not a businesswoman.
Well, some may disagree with that because you've built some very successful businesses.
Then I just got lucky.
I don't believe that at all. I just want to say I've absolutely loved reconnecting again.
Me too.
Learning more about the products that you've got, the services you offer, and the passion that you've got behind what you're doing. It comes through, it shines, and keep doing it. That's what we love.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you for listening to my nagging.
Welcome.